Hello and welcome. I'm Alex DeRussel. I'm joined here by MHS science teacher, Mr. Kreager. Mr. Kreager, how are you doing today?
Fantastic, man. By the way, congrats. State champ, baby.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're trying out something a little bit different. We're getting to know, there's a podcast segment similar to this, but it's getting to know the students of MHS a little bit better. So we're deciding to talk with some of the teachers who have to get to know you guys better, outside of the classroom.
It's cool.
So just to start off, just a little bit of an icebreaker to get you warmed up. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Whoa. Probably strawberry.
Strawberry.
Sure, I'm a strawberry guy. Not big sweets though.
Really?
Not really big into sweets.
I'm the opposite. So I like chocolate and not so much the fruit stuff. But
Nice.
Are you cone or like bowl?
Milkshake, man.
Milkshake.
Big
Okay.
milkshake. I mean,
Milkshake.
I say that I'm not a big sweet guy, but I mean, when I take my daughter through the drive-through, I'll get a strawberry milkshake.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
I know some people like the sprinkles, some people like the eye candy on it, all that
Yeah.
stuff. No,
Just
plain strawberry.
Strawberry.
Straight up.
All right. And what was your dream job growing up? Was it teacher or?
Oh God, dream job, man. I think so. I had a science teacher back in the day, Mr.
Mhm.
Lacey, in ninth grade. I had him my senior year as well, and the impact he had on me, man. He was awesome. Everything he did was
Yeah.
just you enjoyed going to his class every day. And before that, I mean, I think I wanted to join the rodeo at one point in time. That's a true story.
Yeah.
I don't know, but at that point on, from freshman year, is kind of when I knew I wanted to be a teacher.
Mhm.
And then actually going through senior year, it was either be a teacher or join the Marines and do a career in the Marine Corps. But ended up chasing a girl to OU, and the rest is history.
Yeah. All right. So getting into the episode a little bit.
Yeah.
You are extremely big on fishing and hunting. That's.
Yeah. I don't think I'm big enough into it because I'm always looking at like new stuff, buying new stuff, looking at new techniques. My wife thinks I'm way too into it. She's always trying to have a yard sale, and the first thing that goes is like my fishing stuff. I'm fearful one day I'm going to go away for an overnight trip or something, come back, and there'll be like for sale sign with all my stuff in it.
Yeah.
But yes, to answer your question in short, huge into fishing.
Mm-hmm. And so, what is your favorite place that you've ever fished? Because I know you've traveled to some pretty interesting places.
So I've been fishing in northern Manitoba for northern pike. That was pretty awesome. Where it didn't get dark till 2 or 3 a.m. You're like 60 miles from the Arctic Circle. You fall asleep, wolves howling. That was pretty remote and pretty awesome, just because of the vastness. We actually took a bush plane in, and we flew in 60 miles to some remote lake, and they had a cabin on it, and we just fished out from there every day, and it was pretty awesome. But my hands down favorite place to fish is Colorado. Fly fishing out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not even really a big fly fishing guy,
Yeah.
but it's just the whole adventure of going out there, driving around, meeting people, and everybody out there is just so receptive, and the technique of fly fishing is an art form in and of itself. So it's something I would like to get better at, and it's fun. I think that is my favorite.
Yeah. So speaking of fly fishing, have you ever tagged along with Mr. King in the World's
I get invited to go with Mr. King and Mr. Zach every year,
Mhm.
but we have yet to link up. There have been times where, so they go north Colorado, and I'm a southern Colorado guy.
Okay.
So, I mean, one day our paths will cross out there,
Yeah.
and it'll be a great time. I will probably have a lot to learn from those two guys. They'll fish me under the table probably.
Yeah. So what's the biggest size fish you've ever caught?
Oh man, I mean, see, everybody asks that question, but it's all based on species. Like I've caught 7-8 pound bass, which is a giant for Ohio. I've caught a 20-something inch trout out in Colorado, which is a giant out in Colorado. I mean, I've caught like a 30-40 pound catfish here in Ohio.
Wow.
That might be one of my bigger fish. I think I caught a 48-50 inch pike up in Colorado, in Canada. Then you catch those big like sea monsters, those big leviathans out on those deep sea fishing trips. They get dang 3, 4, 5 feet long. So I don't know. I'm never really judge it by the size, more so the species. Because I mean, you catch a bluegill down at a farm pond the size of your hand, and that's a trophy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
interesting. Have you ever caught a shark or
No.
No?
No, I've never really been shark fishing. No, I'm not a big saltwater guy. It's just, no. Never caught a shark, to answer your question.
So saying you're not a big saltwater guy, is that more, do you like, when you go fishing,
Yeah.
is it more of, kind of the quiet experience and stuff like that? Or when you go fishing, do you go with, some buddies and, talk
No.
or?
So, that's the thing. I treat fishing as a puzzle, where there's so many different elements. A lot of people view fishing as you just go sit on the riverbank, sit on the lake bank, you just throw a bobber out with a worm on it and let it dangle, and yeah, you're going to catch some fish. But are you going to catch the size and the quantity and the quality of fish? Maybe. But I don't know. I like viewing it as a puzzle where you look at the weather conditions, you look at the barometric pressure, you look at water clarity, you look at what time of year it is, you look at, are the fish spawning, are they up shallow, are they up deep? Then, all right, what forage are they feeding on? So like, there's this term in fly fishing called match the hatch, where, well, it applies to all fishing types, where if you want to be successful in fishing, you have to match what they're eating.
Yeah.
All right, so am I going to go out and am I going to throw a crawfish pattern? Because fish are starting to, I guess, key in on crawfish that are coming out in the spring from hibernation in the winter. Or is it a bluegill spawn in the dead of summer when the sun's super high? Or in our bluegills, our bass starting to key in on bluegill. So it all depends on different variations, seasons, and all that stuff. So you try to put the puzzle pieces together and figure out. And sometimes the slightest color change on a lure, where you could have an all green, where in fishing we have called green pumpkin, and you put a little chartreuse on there, and all of a sudden, bang! It's like one little component. So it is a little puzzle piece. Sometimes you just miss one little puzzle piece and you don't have a good day. Sometimes you put it all together, you have a great day.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy about it. And then obviously there's the social aspect where you can go out with your buddies and hang out and talk trash to each other, laugh, joke. I got into fishing when there's pictures of my dad taking me fishing in a backpack when I was 1 year old. And ever since then, he has pictures of me catching my first fish. I think my dad's huge into fishing, and he really got me involved in it. And it just kind of blossomed and grew into the beast that it is now, where when we went during the COVID experience where everything was shut down, my wife was pregnant, so we didn't do anything. So, well, what did I do? I think I fished out of 90-something days during summer. I think I fished 84 of them. Yeah, 80-something. I did the math one time.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous, where I was fishing 5 to 6 days a week at least.
Wow.
And that's waking up before light, getting out of my bass boat. So I have a bass boat. Just going out there a lot of times by myself and just fishing for 3-4 hours, 5 hours. End up meeting some guys out there in the lake. Then we'd team up and hey, I'll meet you back here tomorrow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And sometimes it's just calming, man. Like everybody, like you're a runner. You like to run. You get that time for reflective thought where you can just process everything that's going on in your life. And fishing's the same way.
Yeah.
And that's one of the cool things about it. Now it's turned into a beast where I'm ultra competitive. So I've always been competitive, where it's been sports, where it's been this, that. Well, now I've gone into like competitive fishing, where I'm starting to fish bass tournaments against other guys, and really putting your skills to the test, and that's a whole nother level. And it's I tell you what, you want to feel. It's the worst I've ever felt and the best I've ever felt after a sporting event have all been after a bass fishing tournament, because you love something. Imagine having a race of your life, like something you love to do, run. You have the absolute worst race of your life at the most opportunistic point in time. Most boom.
Yeah.
So case in point, like I love bass fishing so much. There are days where I'll go fish a tournament and absolutely stink, and I'll come home and I won't talk to my wife for 3 hours. She knows. She'll just let me just sulk and sit there because I love it so much. I hate sucking at it. And it's just, it gives you nightmares. Like I kid you not, I have nightmares about some of these going to a fishing tournament and absolutely laying an egg, laying a dud. And there have been times. I won a bass fishing tournament 2 years ago where I won $1,000.
Yeah.
I won a fishing tournament 2 or 3 years ago where I won like $800. So there's been success, but you got to be willing to take the highs and the lows. And fun story, fun fact: the fastest growing collegiate sport, one of the fastest growing collegiate sport, is college bass fishing. Bet you didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Now it is not sanctioned by NCAA, so it does not. You're not restricted by that.
Yeah.
So any money that you win in a college bass fishing tournament, you get a win.
Yeah.
There are kids in college winning 30, 40 grand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wish you,
more you know.
Yeah.
Did I wish that? And I wish that was around when I was. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it is a very growing sport. I know a lot of kids around here talk to me about fishing all the time. I mean, you've seen me in class. You want to get me off the topic real quick? You start bringing that up.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, I have a treasure trove of items in my house. I think I own like 18, 19 rods. I've got tackle boxes like that would fill up a Cabela's aisle.
Yeah.
I don't even want to do the math of how much money that actually adds up to because I'd probably be sick to my stomach. But it's just been slowly accumulated over time. Like there was points in time, there still are, where I will order a fishing item and I will leave specific instructions for wherever I order it from to put it on the back deck because I don't want my wife to see that I got a new rod, that I got a new reel, that I got some new lure, some new stuff like that. Which is probably bad. I don't know if I'm like feeding the addiction or anything like that.
Yeah.
But she knows. I mean, she's very supportive. She loves to go fishing with me. My son, now I'm fortunate. I'm starting to take the steps that my dad took with me, where he took me out in the backpack, took me fishing. My son loves to get in the backpack, go with me. We go down the river, and that dude is all about it.
Yeah.
And it's a fun thing, man. I don't know, something I like. I don't know. It's a sport too, where you don't have to be competitive, where you can find joy in seeing other people be successful.
Yeah.
All right, so if we're going out fishing and I'm with some buddies, I like to see my buddies catch a lot of fish because you get to see the joy and you get to see the excitement that they have. That little tug on the end of the line, man. It's like, whoa. But yeah, so it is what you make it. And I'm excited about passing my love and passion on to my kids and maybe some people in class when they hear me talk about it. Yeah. I'm not shy about giving away my fishing spots. You know, some people are like, oh, I've got my secret honey hole. I can't tell you. I'll have to blindfold you, spin you around 5 times, and then I'll take you to it. No, man, I'll tell you where to catch them. It's just go there and you got to tie on what they're biting, and you got to do all the other things right. And that's the cool thing about it. So.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time.
Is that it?
I definitely learned. I definitely learned a lot about fishing and about you, more about you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
So
I can't believe you're a senior now.
Yeah.
Blows my mind. Well, now about you, what are you doing next year? Are you running somewhere?
Yeah, I'm hoping to. I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but it's still up in the air right now. So.
No matter where you go, I guarantee you there will be a fishing spot around there.
Most likely. Yep.
Yeah. That's all I got, my man.
Awesome. And be sure to catch me next week or 2 weeks from now as I go and talk more.
See that little pun that you did there? Is that a little pun? Catch me next week? Have you been planning that?
Not planning it. Just kind of came out.
Oh, I love it. All right. Thanks, man.
Be sure to catch me next week as I talk with more teachers around the building about what they